This week on From Mill to Still, we cut a giant. This week on From Mill to Still, pretty exciting week. We've got holes in the floor, we do some hardwoods, new barrels come in, and we play with a new pump.
And Robbie actually showed up to work for once.
It's an exciting episode, so stay tuned. So summer is here, and that means that we got to get working hard to fulfill rum orders. Jordan, you kind of went crazy this week, right?
Yeah. We distilled twice, bottled 3 times last week, and now we got 3,500 gallons of molasses.
3,500 gallons of wine going right now.
It smells great
smell
here.
it. Yeah, it's amazing. You hear the bubbler? Look at that. It's one of 2 bubblers you got going right now.
Yep.
Yeah, thousands of gallons of mash, and if you look at that like on a number basis, 3,000 gallons to give you about 3,800 bottles of rum. So 36 to 3,800. With my old quote of 36, you're getting like 3,800 bottles out of that. Just
I distill better than Robbie, so I make more liquor.
So 4,500 bottles of rum.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the proof, but yeah.
So that's pretty exciting. That's going on in here. New barrels showed up. These are Speyside barrels.
Yep.
Virgin American White Oak, number 3 char, 53-gallon barrels. You got how many?
20.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
At least the ingredients aren't increasing in cost exponentially right now.
No, everything's cheap and the world's great.
So how many bottles come out of a barrel?
Again, depends on proof. Well, let's say Queen Charlotte Reserve, I don't know, 380, 400?
Okay, close. 380, 400 bottles. That's a shit ton. That's awesome. Yeah. So anyway, thank you for watching this place. Yeah. Other exciting things, you got this pump going. Yeah, that's a sun-drop pump, huh?
Yeah.
What you doing with it?
So we used it yesterday, actually, which I guess will be in this video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A friend of ours, Brian, uses our dunder on his farm and kind of gives it to his cattle, and I think he's got some other ideas he's working with anyway.
Yeah.
The way we were filling his totes up full of that stuff was via gravity outside, and it took forever. So Robbie hooked up the old sun-drop pump we got, and we've got this thing on here too, which I'll talk about in a second. But we use this to pump our spent mash or our dunder from the back tanks into a new tote that goes on Brian's truck, and he takes it to his farm to use it. But
that's so cool.
This thing, I'm not sure the proper way to describe how this works, but it helps the pump to flow more smoothly. Without that, it's kind of like a spurting situation, but with this, I guess this fills up with air and keeps it, or with fluid too.
We'll go up and show you. We're actually going to do it here in a second. We'll show you on our clean pump how that works. So we've never tried it on the little pump. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. That pump's a beast, 165 gallons a minute.
Yeah,
if you can give it enough
We're not
air.
hitting that level, but you know.
You're not hitting that on a 3/8 air hose, but on a 1/2-inch air hose, I've got it, actually you can see here in this clip, I'll show you a detail of how much the airline has been reduced from what it wants. It wants a 1/2-inch nipple, and we've got it reduced down to a 1/4-inch nipple. So we don't have enough CFM going to it, but we got the air compressor to push it. And that's really cool. It's also really cool that now with you doing all this, your waste is sugar bags.
Yeah, much less.
We recycle the totes.
Yeah.
We recycle all the cooling water. We recycle, well, most of the cooling water. We can't recycle it all.
Right.
But all of our waste mash now goes to farmers.
Yeah.
So that's huge. I mean, really cool.
It is really cool. I think, you know, seeing too, we're gonna see like footage and pictures of it going to the cattle and the pigs and all that.
Yeah,
really
some really cool looking cows.
Yeah.
Anyway, that happened this week. That's super cool. Well, this week we got a pump guy. And that's really cool because I was the pump guy and I don't really know what I'm doing. So we have a real pump guy. I got a sun-drop pump that we needed to pump mash for the farmers, right? And I dropped it. So I had to get pieces and I found this guy that's like, oh, I can get you pieces. And he got them for like super cheap and they were in stock. So I just drove over and met him and he like educated me on all this stuff that I didn't know about pumps, which was really cool. And I got my pieces from him and I fixed that pump, and he's actually got another one of our pumps that he's working on. Well, one thing, the whole reason I'm bringing this up is because he told me one thing about air pumps, which is what I'm the least familiar with. Air pumps here, this is a double diaphragm air pump, and this thing is 100% made out of stainless steel and unicorns. Like, it is a beast of a pump, dude. I mean, by beast, really cool. It's sexy. It's a $13,000 pump.
Stop telling me.
It is a beep. We got this from a eBay, and I think it was from like a marijuana farm because it smelled like pot.
No.
It had weed resin like all gooed up in it. It was disgusting. So we use this because it's explosion proof. We use this to pump our Good Hearts liquor. So right now we're pumping our silver rum. This is all the distillate you made on Thursday. Normally, normally he would pump this that night, but we wanted to do this so we could show you guys on the weekly update how cool this pump is, and then this modification that the pump guy told us about. We're gonna incorporate that modification and then pump some more so you can see like how cool it is to do something so simple that is so cool. Let's get to pumping.
Let's get to pumping.
Did you see? Did you see how it was like, well, we're gonna fix that with this little trick that I got from the pump guy. So everything on this pump is tri-clamps, and that's really cool. It's all cleanable, it all drains out. You can even spin this pump and run the check balls upside down and CIP the thing. Like this is a pump. This is the pump of all air pumps right here. I love this thing. All right, so we take out the out hose. So this is the magical tube that's gonna equalize our pressure. I don't know what they call this. They have these in plumbing applications. It's a water hammer preventer. Go around the outside. So this is the magical thing that the pump guy told me about. And what it is it prevents, in a plumbing application, water hammer or something like that. Basically, the math is if you have a double diaphragm pump, you take the hose side or the pipe sides of the pump, which in our case is 1 inch, and you multiply 1 inch times 20. So that's easy math, 20 inches. You need 20 inches of an air standpipe to equalize that pressure. And that's just crude math. There's probably a better, more perfect way to do it, but who cares? This works great. So what this does is as it's pushing out, it increases the air pressure in here, equalizing, and now I'm just making you dumber. It does something to make the pump work more smoothly. So let's see it in action, right? You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Oh! God! That's impossible. So we have a check valve on the intake, so we can stick it down in the hole and suck out all the booze, and it won't let it fall back down. So this has got a little spring check in it, and it's brass and stainless, so it's safe. And that's it. It goes through the pump and out the other end, and what a difference that little piece of stainless steel made, that standpipe, to make that flow just even. Like, literal magic happened right there, and that's super cool. So thank you to the pump guy. You know who you are. Hopefully you're subscribed to this channel. And you too, also, whoever's watching this. But that happened this week. I'm stoked. Couldn't ask for anything more.
Uno, dos, tres.
Uno, dos, tres. Welcome to Muddy River Distillery. Would you like to buy some rum or perhaps have a drink at our cocktail bar? That's what we'll be saying from this table when it's done being restored. So this week we moved the table, the host station, to its permanent home. All right, and eventually we're gonna restore this thing. That's on a future video, no time soon. But what's gonna happen here is we're gonna put the post that goes back up to the top and spinning it. Here's a picture of what this machine looks like put together. So we're gonna put a piece of glass on top of it and the cassettes back on it. So little niños can come up and spin the wheel and see it while mommy or daddy buys a bottle of rum, or we tell you that, you know, we're waiting on a table for you or whatever. Anyway, this is the host station. So it's here now, and that's super cool. That happened this week. Restoration to come down the road.
Hey, it's Bree. So Robbie forgot to talk about how they moved one of these really heavy timbers to the other side of the mill. So they're just taking it off of the wooden blocks that was holding it up, wheeling it over, which was Kevin's great idea. So thanks, Kevin. Killed it. And here it goes into its home permanently, or at least until we need to move it again. And it's next to its little brother.
I think the first structural repair, not counting raising the entire building up, the first structural repair we did was to come in here and tear out some old floor joists. And the old owner had like an elevator thing. They had some rotten joists above us, which you fixed, and some rotten joists below us, which were replaced. And this week, you guys put the hardwood down. So Eric, the hardwood master, came in here and just nailed all this down. This is all wood from the first floor that was put back here, and it's got so much character. I'm gonna sand the character right back out of it, but it's really cool to see this hardwood coming out. I think this has to be possibly one of my favorite things, because this is starting to see the building and the feng shui, the layout all come together. Arturo had to do this by himself because I had a busted knee this week, but he came in here with Eric and Kevin and tore out this floor. This floor, you tore out some to fix the other stuff, and then we tore out some more to fix that over there, and then we still had, like, most of it was still in here. Yeah. So you picked it all up with the duct lifts, and then that was the easy part, right? Tearing it out, and then you had to finish all the walls around it. You had to cut that, you cut that with your quickie saw, chip that, we're gonna leave that rough, right? Maybe just paint it.
Clean it up and paint it.
This is really cool. So I'm standing in the cellar distillation area. So in front of me, you'll have the four stills. We're gonna put all 4 installed in the new place. And then right here begins, you have a trench drain running down the middle, and then you'll have the fermenters. You'll be able to stand up where this camera is now and look down at the production, and then you'll actually come down the stairs and take tours of the production area, but it'll be separate from the bar restaurant space. So both are in their own ecosystems. This room will get super hot, not super hot, but really uncomfortably hot. So it's actually kind of isolated to even the factory. The walls not only will be up on the second floor blocking the heat, but in the first floor they'll block the heat also. The stills put off a lot of energy, and keeping that contained so that the people that work here are comfortable and then people that come to visit are comfortable is super important. And it's just a grand room. Like, think about it when these windows are built back and the light comes in. We only have 1 window in the current distillery. We have 73 in this facility, so that's really cool. And that happened this week.
Oh yeah.
There's some really cool time lapses of that. Good video.
Good video, yeah.
So watch these videos and check it out. that pretty much wraps up our week. It was a pretty interesting week. It was nice that I'm going back to the distillery since it is rum season. We had a shipment go out of all sorts of liquor, so there's Jordan doing that. Like, so many things happened this week, and it's really cool. And that pretty much wraps things up.
Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like, and no olvides de suscribirte y darle like.
Nice. Leave a comment below if you have anything you want to see on this channel. Thank you so much. Cheers.